Good morning, everybody. Good morning. For Pitcock here. I am excited to be with you this new month ahead of us, the month of June. How many of you are excited that we're halfway through the year, literally halfway through 2023, beginning this middle of the year month, and you are either crushing it and you're right on track, or you're like, man, I have a lot of catching up to do. So drop in the comments, are you crushing it or are you needing to do some catching up? I know that all of us are at a different point in our life. Many of you have just been through graduations with your kids. It's wedding season, it's baseball season, it's softball season. How many of you are following this college softball tournament? I have never seen anything Dave loves more than watching college softball. Literally, I'm trying to get him tickets this week to Oklahoma City. Tell me, are any of you as consumed with this college softball as Dave is? I doubt it. He loves it. It's his favorite sport to watch. So, yes, I see your comments. You're crushing it. Good for you. Good morning. So, today's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to do some ask me anything in the middle of this. And my goal every single day, I was listening to a podcast this morning and I didn't realize I'm selfish. The most selfish act in the world is helping others. Can you believe that? The most selfish act is you helping others. And I'll tell you why. Because you get more out of helping others. And some of you know, some of you don't know. It's probably the most selfish thing you can do because you get the most out of it. And people who don't know, they've never experienced that. But today I was listening, I was like, I don't think I'm selfish, but I find myself constantly wanting to help others, constantly worrying about others, constantly trying to save everyone, trying to prevent them from any pain or harm. Or, I'm constantly like, oh, I'm laying in bed at night worrying about someone's issue, and they're not even worried about their issue, right? Because I love helping people and it's just part of it. Now, it's a blessing and it's a curse because I want to tell you guys, not all people are good people. How many of you can relate to that? Not all people are good people. So take this like a buffet. Some of it you may love, some of it you may not. You can shoot the message, but don't shoot the messenger, right? Because I'm just telling you some signs that I have seen, some truths that I have experienced, some evidence that I have that has created my beliefs. And every week on Saturday morning at 9 a.m., I do No Guts, No Story just to bring you a little bit of positive, just that little bitty shot in the arm, just a little bit of hope because I love helping people. Smash the heart button and drop a comment if I have ever shared anything that has really helped you. And I would be interested to know, what is the one line? What is the one thing that you've gotten from what is it now? It's a lot of years that I have been doing. I think 13 years. I started doing this every single morning in like 2005, 2006. So, it's been a long time and there's been a lot of stuff. And some of you have followed me through my entire journey. But here's the one thing: I always find joy. I always find joy. And this morning, as I was reflecting on my journals and my teachings and my experiences, all of my failures. How many of you have had failures? Good for you. That's part of success. None of us are going to be successful if we don't fail. And so many people are afraid to fail. They're never, ever, ever going to have success. I feel sorry for them. I've given them all the training and even the opportunities, but they just don't want to fail. They just don't want to take a risk. They just don't want to put themselves out there. They just want to stay comfortable. They don't want to rock the boat. And that's their business, not my business. But I'm going to encourage you with what I would tell you to do every single time I come on here, because that is my truth. So truths are not mine to say. Let's look at them as signposts, as warnings, as little nuggets like scrolls or tablets of wisdom, maybe, if you will. But I'm going to give you a few, and I would love for you to write these down. Now, the one thing that I have experienced lately that I've taken some notes and really journaled, and some of you know I've been on quite a journey, but 2022 will go down as the year that we will never forget, the conditioning, the strength building year, right? The most important thing that I would say, and I heard this this morning, I think it was Denzel Washington, said, don't leave crumbs. The choices that we make every single day either have us forward thinking or looking over our shoulder. Don't leave crumbs. There's not a text I've ever sent that it would worry me that it would go public and everyone would see it, unless maybe I was having an argument with one of my kids. Sometimes we do get angry. Sometimes we do have things that don't go our way. But when I think about some of the things that I've seen behind closed doors, some of the things that I've heard in the boardroom, at the drinking fountain, in the women's restroom, I've been around a lot of amazing people, and I've been around a lot of very powerful people. I've been at the table with 3 billionaires, 2 face-to-face and 1 over the phone just recently. And I tell you, some people are amazing people. Some people aren't. Money doesn't make you an amazing person. It brings out more of, if you're an asshole, you're going to be a bigger asshole. If you're a big-hearted, loving person, you're going to be a bigger, love-hearted, loving, big-hearted person. I love, and all of the billionaires, let me rephrase this, all of them that I've been around, I'm not talking about them. I'm saying when I go to the DSA and I'm a speaker at the DSA, and I'm in the bathroom, and there's the owner of Avon, and there's the owner of Nu Skin, and Maya Angelou was backstage. Believe it or not, in 2000, I have to look at the award to see, 2010, Dave and I were a finalist, got an award at the DSA, and I was literally in the bathroom with Maya Angelou. Susie Orman was in there. John Maxwell was right outside. Like, all of these amazing, great people. I want to tell you guys, whether it's a rapper, a singer, whether it's Reba McEntire or Tim McGraw or Kenny Chesney or Clay Walker or, Eminem, it doesn't matter who it is who's had success. Every single one of these people has problems. Every single one of these people has anger at times. Every single one of these people has experienced lack and loss, or they would have never made it big, right? So it's part of it. And when we're all going through it, we tend to look at these greats. We think, oh, the president of the United States has no problems. He has more problems than us. And I've made more in a network marketing year than their salary is. So I wouldn't trade that. I would never trade me being the president of the United States compared to me having the freedom that I've experienced and the same exact income without, well, I was going to say without all the drama, but let me take that back. There's always drama, right? I would say don't leave crumbs is the takeaway that I got from the podcast I listened to this morning. You don't want to be looking over your shoulder saying, oh my gosh, I talked bad about Donna and now Donna's with Cindy. What if Cindy tells Donna what I said about her? They're going on a trip together. You don't want to have those crumbs. You don't want to be, oh, I shouldn't have drank so much last night at the bar. I was being kind of frisky with so-and-so spouse and I'm married. You don't want to be, I have to look over my shoulder because I stole this outfit and now so-and-so is going to see the picture of me wearing it. Or looking over your shoulder, I probably shouldn't have made that choice because it hurt a lot of people. Even though it benefited me at the time and it was good for the business, it hurt a lot of people. See, I never want to be looking over my shoulder thinking that, which is why I'm very careful. There was a day when I did have to look over my shoulder. I did go through a bankruptcy in 1996. I did owe a lot of people money. The debts were high. The funds were low. I didn't have the money to cover it. My dog would get out. The dog catcher would pick up the dog. I wouldn't even have the money to go get the dog out of the pound. I hated that feeling. And I hated that feeling so much that I decided that I was going to do something for my own happiness, something I could get a return on investment. Instead of me doing 20 haircuts a day and leaving and going home with $200. No, let me take that back. It would have been more like 100 because half my family lives in town. The other half were friends. and only 50% ever paid me for the services, right? So I loved helping people. I got a lot of joy out of that. But there was another category over there where finances were low and joy was high. Well, I could be a happy, motivated, look like I'm so busy, successful idiot running a salon when I got home at night and couldn't pay for baby formula because I was so worried about helping all the other people. See, you don't want to leave crumbs. You don't want to be looking over your shoulder, but you also have to take care of yourself. And even though it is my favorite thing to do, helping other people, there will come a time in your life where you will say, I'm getting older. I should look at my future. I've learned this same lesson 3 or 4 times. I should think about my own self. You've got to create outcomes that keep you lit up, but they don't take from you to the point that you have nothing left. Make choices that will pay you back tomorrow. A ROI means return on investment. If I buy a rental property and I have people paying me rent, it's a ROI. If I love helping people so much that I don't collect the rent, it's not an ROI. It's like playing Monopoly. Pretty soon, you might have all these properties, but if there isn't any money coming in and your bank is empty, you're not making a good decision. You're happy because you're helping everyone, but you're miserable because you can't sleep at night. You have wolves at the door. You know, you want to prepare and plan for a brighter future. So don't leave crumbs is really big, but I want to tell you something that's even bigger than not leaving crumbs. Don't choose anything that will separate you from your soul and will antagonize your character. I've been really good at helping people. I've been really good at making money. But sometimes I have a gut feeling and I say, why would I go back down that same road when I'm having this gut feeling? If the stove is hot, don't touch it, right? Now, I'm just going to be completely transparent here. I love the industry of direct sales. You can ask me anything you want about direct sales. Now, here's what I want to tell you that are some truths about direct sales. Not all people are good. There is going to be drama. You are going to have situations where you're uncomfortable. There are always going to be people joining and quitting. You are going to have haters. You will experience rejection. People will talk shit on you, and it will not be easy. But if you get it built, it will be worth it because there is nothing that beats a return on investment like a residual income. Now, where do I get my most joy? I want you guys to write down what is most important to you. Now, this is really big because number 2 is do not choose anything that will jeopardize your soul or antagonize your character. So in my coaching, and some of you are in my best coaching, drop in the comments if you're in the coaching group, we do a monthly assessment. And this monthly assessment has several things. I don't think I have it here in front of me, or I would share a little free secret with you. The monthly assessment goes through all kinds of things like your family, your spiritual growth, your money, your career, your physical, your friendships. And you take what's most important to you, right? So for me, the most important thing should be always being a wife. And yes, wives out there, moms out there, being a wife should always come before being a mom. But we never do that. I never do that. Most of you never do that because there is nothing like the love you have for your children, right? You can divorce a spouse, but you can never divorce your children. Your children are part of your heart, your being, your air, your breath, your soul. They're part of, when you give birth to a child, it's like you're attached to that forever, right? So being top 5 things that are most important to you, I want you to think, how do you measure success? How do you measure your productivity and your happiness and your success? Here's the thing. My happiness 100% is measured by being a wife and being a mom. Those are neck and neck. It didn't used to be my health. But today, after what I've experienced in the last 12 months, it is my health. My health is so important to me because I have seen a vibrant, happy, excited woman experience, let's go to Disney, and 8 weeks later be, we're not going to Disney, we're having a funeral. I've seen a child this week who fought to live for 19 days and then passed away that was 14 years old. Brooklyn's neighbor. This family absolutely devastated because even if you have a healthy body and your body can fight back, if something happens to your brain and you don't have your brain, you don't have your life, right? It's so hard to believe that someone's room can be filled with all of their things and they're playing football and they're playing with their friends and they're planning out their college career. And then the grandma comes over yesterday and says, I don't know when I'll go back into that room. It literally rocked my soul. I thought to myself, time with my children, grandchildren, and husband is the most important thing. So that is always going to be at the top for me. My time as a wife, my time as a mom, and my health. Then my career. Now, for some of you, it's all about your career. Your wife and children are struggling, and your health is because of your career, because of the stress. And you got to learn that your own way. It took me getting incredibly sick last fall, incredibly sick, and looking over the last few years of my health. I was doing 4 markets a year. I was doing Atlanta 4 times. I was doing Dallas 2 times. I was doing Vegas 2 or 3 times. New York now, twice a year. I was traveling. I was setting up trade shows. I was hustling. And you know what? I was getting pneumonia, pulmonary lung disease. I couldn't breathe. Then I ended up with shingles. I was running a direct sales company. We did over 1.2 million last year in the month of June. And you would have thought, happiest day of my life, loaded. It's amazing. I'm telling you guys, everything that glitters is not gold. Because when you don't have all these things in place, you literally can have an empire that you think is exploding, and the next minute you can have nothing, peanuts. So you can't put all the emphasis on your career and not take care of your health. But you know what else I would put in my top 5? Friendships. Friendships. And this is why. Because when the proverbial shit hits the fan, and it will. If it hasn't ever happened to you, it will. When you're grieving, when you're experiencing loss, when you're being attacked, maybe you're going through a divorce or you have a legal battle you're fighting, or maybe the funds are really low and you're in a bankruptcy situation. Maybe you have a child that's in trouble. Maybe you have addiction in your family. Maybe you're abused. Maybe you're in an abusive relationship. If you are, reach out. I'm telling you, I think about all of these young women, and not just young, but any of you, that are in situations where you literally don't know where to turn. Whatever it is that is jeopardizing your soul and antagonizing your character, you've got to run from that. Run and never go back to that, because nobody deserves to be put in that position. And I don't care if it costs you your income. I don't care if people question you, if the whole town thinks you're crazy, if families turn against you. You've got to know your truth. And whatever that is, know it. Your measurement in life of success is not popularity. You know, Robin Williams was popular. Whitney Houston was popular. Elvis Presley was popular. Michael Jackson was popular. But being popular, all the money, the fame, the people thinking that you're the king is not happiness. So we have to really think, what is our happiness? And there's always going to be 2 wolves. There's going to be the good wolf and the bad wolf. And we got to be careful which one we feed. If I'm getting credits and deposits or withdrawals and negatives, I've got to look at the score in, as a wife, am I getting negative, 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 and pretty soon I'm overdrawn, but my career is getting positive, 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 positive. If your checks and balances don't have what your values are, No amount of success will ever make you happy. In fact, it will cost you your marriage. It will cost you your relationship with your children. It will cost you your friendships. It will cost you your health. It will rob you from your sleep at night. You've got to define what that is that's most important to you and make sure you're getting pluses and deposits. If you're not, take your husband and run away with him. I'm threatening right now. You are going to see me and Dave go on a sabbatical to I don't know where, and nobody's going to find us because my poor husband has been through withdrawal, and we've been taking care of so many people and so many things and so much stuff that there just comes a time where you're like, see ya, we're out of here. And you've got to go put the deposits in the right account. Because the most important balance in your life is not going to be your checking account. It's going to be, did you nurture and love and get the joy and the memories with the things that mattered the most? Number 3, define success for yourself. What does that look like? Brooklyn and I were shopping downtown about a month and a half ago, and I saw this sign that said, the Grand Shop or something. And I went in it and I thought it was going to be like souvenirs from Grand Lake. And it was actually like a fortune teller. It was actually like they had voodoo dolls and they had Ouija boards. And I was like, oh my God. Like I literally couldn't get out of there fast enough. But I was like, hey, I'm new to town. I just wanted to see what you had. And I was like, oh my God. And Brooklyn was with her dog getting something at another shop. And I said, I'm going to run in here, you run in there, and we'll meet in the middle. But it was crazy because there was like candles burning. And there's a lot of shops like that at the lake. There's rocks, there's crystals, there's all kinds of stuff. And if you're into that, I'm not saying anything bad about that. There was a lot of essential oils. I love essential oils. I love crystals. I love incense. I love candles. Don't get me wrong. I love all that stuff. But my faith tells me I can do and be and have anything I want. If I believe it, I can manifest it. If I pray for it and it's God's will in my life, it's happening. Nothing can keep me from my destiny. But in there, they have all kinds of different things that you can get for fertility, for health, for family healing. Read this card and see if your husband's going to cheat on you or not, for legal help. And I'm not dishing any of you that do that. I mean, if you're a fortune teller, good for you. I don't have that power. So I'm just telling you what works for me. There was bottles and candles and potions in there for money, for all different things, healing, clarity, detox, you name it. And people will literally buy the rock and hang on to it. They will. People spend a lot of money on that because they want hope. Do you know what people really want? They want hope. They want hope and a future. And I always hang on to this one verse. It's all over in here. I could grab one right here. Everywhere I look, it's on every rock. It's on every wall. It's on my checkbook. It's everywhere. And all of you who know me, you know me. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you, to give you hope and a future. So I want to tell you my little secret. I ask God to show me signs, open doors that are His will for my life, and close the ones that are not. And sometimes that sucks, you know what? It sucks because success to me is being with my friends, building relationships and having fun with our families all together, going to the lake, going to Disney, having events, throwing big parties, conventions. Like that's what I've done 3 times a year, every year for 29 years. And I find myself right now praying, following my values, following my heart, and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Because like when He tells me things, I'm like, are you really serious right now? Like, how's that going to work? And it's funny because God will tell you what you need to do. You just won't listen. God will show you where you need to be. Sometimes we just don't listen. And the reason why we don't is because we live in a world where it's get rich quick. Everybody wants all the Instagram likes. People are going to dress half naked, tattoo their whole body, and show you the pictures of it. And if you don't do that, you feel like you're not trending. You're not fitting in. You're not like, I can't do that. Okay. Y'all look hot. I love the way you all look. I love that you can rock your swimming suit. I love that you got the piercing. I mean, I'm happy for you. I can't not be me, right? I can't not be me. And I noticed that the top people in my industry making the most money, the influencers, they're out there doing just completely transparent things. And I'm transparent and I'm going to be completely transparent. I just can't do some of the things that other people do. But I know that I know that I know that God will bless my business. I know He's going to bless my business. And I don't care if I get the likes, and I don't care if I go viral, and I don't care if my TikTok is, you know, the number one popular TikTok. I'm not putting my ass on TikTok. I don't care how much money I can make. I can't do it. I'm not going to go post my bikini pic. I just can't do it. I don't want my grandkids one day looking at my TikTok and my Instagram being like, wow, Grandma Barb didn't have any clothes on. Like, I'm just a Baptist girl that was raised differently. I've never, ever had my kids with all their friends on the boat and not put my shirt on over my swimsuit. It's just the way I'm wired. So I love that you guys are confident and you can rock your body and your body art is beautiful. My husband has a beautiful tattoo on his back of his brother as a little boy, a teenager, and the last picture we have with him, it's gorgeous. It's the most beautiful piece of art and someone that I love so much. I love my kids. I love my kids more than I love breath, but I just don't have them on my body. I don't. I would go if we got baptized in the river and there was a special date. That's one of my dreams. All of my kids, we get baptized in the river. Like, I would get a little cross in the date because that would be a day that I would never forget. That would be like my wedding date. That would be like the date they were born. But I would still probably put it somewhere that nobody would see it because it's just not my thing. And I'm telling you guys this because I want you to be true to yourself and stop trying to be like everyone else. I will make a fortune. I will build an empire. I will build massive communities and opportunities and lead millions of people. I will fill stadiums. I will write books. I will make an impact. But I don't have to be number 1, 2, and 3 in the industry of network marketing exactly like them because I'm Barb Pitcock. And I have a championship bloodline that has nothing to do with my mom and dad, just has to do with my creator. And this is you too. We've got to stop worrying about making everyone else happy. And we got to quit trying to get the potion or the rock or the candle or the magic pill or whatever it is. And we just have to be true to ourselves. It is number 2, defining success for yourself, what that is, what that looks like, and knowing that whatever that is, you're going to get that. So for me, whatever I wrote down a couple of things here. Whatever my cultural values are, whatever your cultural values are, I would say be true to that. Stop chasing the shiny object. Stop jumping to the next best opportunity, following this and that. And oh my gosh, here's my biggest pet peeve that I see on the internet today, on all social media. People are leaving a company and they got to make it public that they're leaving. And then 2 days later, they found this most amazing thing that changed their life and they can't wait to show it to you. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, if I were to leave something, I don't have to tear it down. I don't have to make a statement that I'm leaving. I don't have to talk bad about the person or the company. And there are people that left a company 3 years ago. They're still texting in a group about how bad that company is. Who gives a shit? You're not even there anymore. Let them go be them. And why don't you go do something other than tear down someone else? Stop blowing out other people's candle trying to make yours look better, because you look like an asshole when you do that. Like, nobody wants to hear from you. And then you join another one, and pretty soon you'll be doing the same thing to that company. Like, I have nothing bad to say about any company I've ever been in, because you know what? I learned, I grew, I made money, I made friendships, I learned lessons, I learned what I don't want to do, and I moved forward a better person. There's nothing wrong with them. They're great. I'm great. Maybe we just weren't great together. And you being great means you're so confident in yourself, you don't have to talk shit on anyone else. That's when you know you're great. Because I will guarantee you, Apple isn't worried about what Motorola is doing. They might even own them by now. Like, Walmart is not advertising how Kmart is not good, because they're freaking Walmart, right? If you really step into your greatness and you do what you know God's telling you to do, there's no question about it. You're going to be successful, because nothing will keep you from your greatness. Here's another one. Life is not going to be easy. This is your sign. This is part of life. Stop trying to make it easy. Life is not going to be fair. Stop saying, that's not fair. I'm the victim. They can't do that to me. Why is this happening to me? Do not fall into the victim mentality, because most likely you are going to get better because of what you're going through. And it's not to harm you, but to prosper you, to give you hope and a future. Michael McConaughey was saying this morning, never use the word unbelievable. He goes, that's the dumbest word in the dictionary. You could say it's spectacular, you could say it's excellent, or you could say it's absurd, but don't say it's unbelievable, because it's unbelievable. Like, there's a cure out there for cancer. People are dying every day because there's too much money in cancer treatment. That's unbelievable. But it's not unbelievable because it's happening. It's absurd. It's sad. Give others and yourself more credit. You know, let's think about certain things that have happened to you. Maybe you've been abused. Maybe you were written out of a will. Maybe you've always been the outcast. Maybe you've been bullied. Maybe you grew up in a household that wasn't that great. I'm going to tell you guys something that's unbelievable that I did this week. And I'm not proud of it, but I kind of am. My daughter and I were in Dollar General 2 days ago. Not yesterday, but the day before. And my father-in-law's wife owns a pets grooming thing right across from the Dollar General. So Brooklyn and I were in Dollar General, and we had Brooklyn's little pug, who's very hyper, takes a lot of maintenance, needs her toenails clipped. She's high anxiety. She's like Brooklyn's right hand. They don't go anywhere, not together. We left the air conditioner on. We left her in the car. We ran in for 1 minute to get some totes, because we're organizing all the chaos in our house. Like, we have all of Brooklyn's stuff recently moved. We have all of Nana's stuff from her house that we sold recently moved. I have a full shed of other houses that we sold and moved. I mean, we've sold so many properties and moved so many people that we're just all in piles. Like, even my office, I've got Nana's art, I've got Nana's cardinals. Like, it's all these things that you're like, I can't get rid of them. So you hang on to them, but eventually you're like, I'm going to have to get rid of something, because it's like everywhere, right? So we went in to get some totes, and we're on Pinterest, and Brooklyn's like, if you look on there, we could do these little squares, and we could do them on a bookshelf, and then we could get these little foldable, collapsible things. We could get some that go under the bed. So we have tons of stuff, right? And I texted Michelle and said, hey, we're right across the street. We have Olive with us. Could we come over and get her toenails trimmed? And I'm looking out the window. I'm like, she's not out there anymore. She left. She must have not got my text. But we're loading the totes. So I go out, and there's a large gentleman. Like, if you were looking at like David and Goliath, he would have been more like Goliath, a very large gentleman. And he's in the store, and, you know, his kids are with him, and I see them checking out. And kids are going to be kids. Kids are going to want everything at checkout. Kids are going to want all the sugar. Kids are going to want one more toy. They're just kids. The problem isn't that they want toys. The problem is that sometimes maybe we don't have the money, or maybe we already have too many toys. I don't know. But still, you don't have to be an asshole, right? Like you can say, honey, you have enough toys. We have plenty of toys at home. The answer is no, right? So, anyway, I don't know what happened in Dollar General. All I know is I was carrying out the totes and something unbelievable happened, if we're going to use that word. And I won't use unbelievable. Something tragic happened in front of me. Now, I want to tell you guys, we all have trauma. Every single one of us has trauma. Let's just normalize it. You have things in your life that trigger you. I hate the word trigger because everybody's saying that they're being triggered by everything. And the reality is, we all have shit in our lives. We all have things that are happening. We all have things that maybe we wish didn't happen. And we all have things that pop up that make us go back to those moments, even me. But we have to learn how to control ourselves. And I fell short this week because, happiness is you doing what brings you joy. Happiness to me is loving everyone, treating them kindly, being nice, saving the dog, saving the child, saving the person from bankruptcy, helping them create a residual income, bringing them into my house, putting the homeless person up in a hotel, throwing money out the window on the corner, even if I don't know if they're scamming me or they really are homeless. Sometimes, based on what I've learned lately, they're probably trying to get what they need to not be sick, withdrawing from a drug, right? And I'm always like, do I throw the money out to them or do I not? And you know what, guys? I usually just feel better if I'm giving. I do not like people raising their voice. I do not like controlling mean people. I do not like people that do not care about other people's feelings. And I believe in my own way of talking to and disciplining children based on my own past. And I'm walking out to the car and I'm putting the Rubbermaids in the car. And I noticed that Michelle came across the street and she's in the car with the dog. She's like, I'll just trim his toenails. So there's my father-in-law's wife, my daughter's coming out, and then there's me, who's making trips with all the Rubbermaids, filling up my Escalade. And I'm get in my car, minding my own business. Brooklyn gets in the car, minding her own business. And this Goliath guy comes walking out with not just one child, but two, and his wife. And I hear him say, when we get home, I am going to concuss your skull. I am going to beat the blank and blank. You're not even going to know where you're at. I'm going to hit you so hard. And I literally, after the third sentence, had an out-of-body experience. I got out of my car. I went towards Goliath and I said a lot of words that I'm very ashamed of, threatened him with his life, told him he was the worst parent in the world, and that his children were going to grow up completely traumatized because he is a blank and blank and blank abusive whatever, and I was going to call the cops. And I literally, you guys, I had a non-Jesus moment. I had a non-Jesus moment. Instead of saying, is the challenge that you don't have enough money and groceries are high and the funds are low and the debts are high? Like, are you going through something? Is there anything I could do to help you? Kids are going to be kids. Can you take a deep breath? Would you like to come to church? No, I didn't do any of that. I literally was in beast mode. Now, I didn't post it. I didn't go tell the whole world about it. I thought I was taking it into my own hands, but honestly, I looked like a crazy woman in the Dollar General parking lot. So bad to the point my daughter was videoing it because she literally could not believe I got out of the car and did this. Now, let me tell you guys, we all have times like that. We all have times like that where we're going to lose it. And we lose it based on an emotion or a feeling that's way down in there, that when somebody pushes that button, we go ape shit crazy. And I'm going to ask you, what is the trauma that you're holding down? Here's one thing I can't handle. I can't handle bullies. I cannot handle bullies. I cannot handle people that are controlling, mean, abusive, or don't think about other people's feelings. It makes me crazy. It makes me crazy to the point Dave and I walked away from 120,000 a month one time because there was a lady within that company that I just could not even believe that, this was a publicly traded company and there were people that knew that this was going on and it was being allowed. But here's the thing, you guys, because I'm a people pleaser, I tend to not stick up for myself and let sabotage happen within an organization, within a team, within a company. And the lesson that I've learned is I have to step up. I have to communicate. I have to execute. Just because you were abused at some point in your life doesn't mean that you're weak. It means that you know what not to do. It means that you know what you will not tolerate. It means that your values are all love, kindness, serving, being grateful, spreading joy, giving hope, sending love. It's not about you. It never was about you. It's about your purpose in life. And I heard an amazing graduation speech. It was a Krug boy. Got to think of his name. I cannot believe that I cannot think of this kid's name. He just graduated in Russell. His mom is Susie Krug. And she's an incredible spiritual woman, one of Cindy's best friends, one of Dave's good friends. Mike Krug was in a band with Dave's little brother. And then Jason Krug is the other Krug boy, and it's his son. I'm so embarrassed I can't think of his name. I know this. Charlie is his name. Charlie Krug gave the 8th grade commencement speech last week when I watched my niece graduate. And he said, it's not about your PhD in education. And I love this. He said, it's your PhD that determines your happiness and success in life because it's your purpose, your hustle, and your desire. Now, you guys, I'm in a chapter where I'm making the most important decisions of my life because I have to think what brings me joy, what brings me happiness. And I have to look at my self-limiting beliefs because I love the industry of direct sales because I love people. You know what's the best thing about direct sales? The people. You know what's sometimes the worst thing about direct sales? The people. Because there's good people and there's bad people everywhere you go. And you can't say, I'm not going to church anymore because of those people. There's good and bad people in every church. I can't say, I'm not going to teach dance anymore because of the moms. I mean, the moms were more work than the students, but I had 120 in Great Bend and I had 65 in Russell. That's 185 students. Some of them had 2 moms and 2 dads. Let me tell you, there was good and bad even in the dance school. You have to look forward to your future and what brings you joy and not let limiting beliefs or fears or situations that have happened in your past have anything to do determining your future other than your happiness. Here's what I do know. A college degree was a big deal in 1989. A lot of people got great jobs because of their college degree. Today, I know more people making more money than they've ever made in their life with no education because of the internet, because of social media, because of social selling. It really doesn't have anything to do with education right now. A new millionaire is being born every 6 seconds in America. You know what else is happening every 6 seconds? A suicide. A suicide is happening every 6 seconds in America. And you know what's higher right now than suicide? Overdose on fentanyl, heroin, and opiates. So there is an epidemic that's happening. People don't have enough money. People are hurting mentally. People are struggling with addiction. And everybody's bombarded with messages and noise. And I will tell you, I cannot imagine being a young child right now, growing up in this era with social media. Because I made a lot of mistakes and I got bullied a lot. And I had freckles and red hair. I was the ugliest little girl you can imagine. I cannot imagine if everything I ever did or got made fun of was all over social media. I mean, the neighbor lady who I hugged and held in my arms yesterday that buried her grandson told me that she would have went crazy on a certain person in a courtroom the week before if she could have, because she was going through something else with a different grandson. And I want to tell you guys something. I could relate. Nobody should have a funeral and a legal battle going on at the same time. Nobody should have a funeral and a child in trouble at the same time. But you know what? This is one of my truths that we talked about today. Life is not easy, it's hard. Life is not fair, it's unfair. And we have to get better to find our own happiness. Don't just aspire to make a living, aspire to make a difference. That's all I can think about right now. I want to be a difference maker. I want to be a difference maker. I want to be the most successful at helping people. I think about everything I learned between kindergarten and my senior year. It didn't have anything to do with my success. My experiences did. My work ethic did. The hustle did. My mom teaching me to be independent did. My dad abandoning us helped me be successful. But you know what? It wasn't fair and it wasn't right and it sucked. And I suffered. And some of you have suffered. But the sooner we become less impressed with the career, with the person prospecting us, with all the money they've made, with the jet, with the mansion, with how many tattoos they have, with how naked they are on Instagram and how many followers they have. Like the sooner we start thinking about what matters most and we say, what's it really worth? I'm not going to compromise anything, especially not my integrity and my character for the shiny stuff. I'm just not going to do it. What I know is what's really worth it, you'll pay the price for no matter what it takes. And what's not worth it, you won't. So in order to achieve your goals, I feel like you have to have a plan. You have to know what your happiness is going to come from. What gives you joy? Do you guys want to know what gives me the most joy? Hanging out with my kids and grandkids and my husband. What gives Dave the most joy? Fishing and fixing up houses. What gives me the most joy? Decorating for people to come, buying people gifts, surprising them, traveling with them, taking tons of pictures. Like, I love the fun and the Kodak moment. What do you love? Drop in the comments. Be honest with me. What do you love? Brooklyn loves giving people gifts. She loves making flower arrangements. Like, we go to the Greg store pharmacy a couple days ago to get something for Dave. And we get something that's like an over-the-counter thing for $5, but we leave with $205 because they had baby gifts. And they had something for her neighbor who just lost his son. They had something for her dad that she thought was funny. Like, some of us get our joy from giving. You need to really dial in what gives you all your joy. And you need to plan every day how you can do more of that and find a way to get paid for it. Working really hard, that's just what successful people do. But working smart means I do something today that's not how much I have. It's not how much I keep, but it's what I do with what I have. I have 22 acres. I'm going to build a ranch. I'm going to build a wedding venue by next summer. I'm going to have the most beautiful weddings right here on this 22 acres of heaven. And I'm probably going to have a camp that puts families back together who struggle with grief and addiction and dysfunction, and they need recovery, and they need someone to help put the pieces back together. Do you know why? Because I want to give what I have and what I've experienced so that I can find an ROI based on that experience. Now, do I want to do direct sales? Absolutely. It's what I'm best at. But I also got to think, why would I do that? I would do that to make an impact on people. I would do that to bring other people freedom. I want them to have the freedom. Everything I have, I purchased because of residual income in direct sales or real estate. So I want to teach people that. I want to coach people that. I want to encourage people every day. I want to give them hope when they want to give up. I want them to think of ways they can make more money, not just settle. I want them to break out of their comfort zone. I want them to launch their own businesses, create their own brands. That's why we have a private label company. We help people brand themselves. I want to go to market myself next month in June. God just took my voice away right when I said that. Did you hear that? He's like, no, you don't. That's hard work. Hundreds of thousands of people coming to your booth. I want to go there just to love on my own customers. I had 40,000 of them in a group that we called Slap That App. I made a decision to step down from a company. I had to delete the group for some reason. And the only way I know to go get back with all of my customers now that I've had to delete that group that had all of them seeing my testimonies is go there, see them face to face, do it the old fashioned way, and try to bring them all back into my social network again. I love serving people. And sometimes that means I got to be the one that scrubs the toilet. You know, my son's opening a new store and he's got an order that would fill a small U-Haul, and he's opening his store Wednesday in Arizona. So everything needs bottled and shipped by like Monday. Dave and I are going down there. We're going to be grinding all day. I'm not afraid to scrub the toilet, print the labels, put the bottle machine together. Like, I'm not afraid to do the hard work. No matter how much money I've ever made, I'm never going to tell you to go do something that I wouldn't be willing to do. But here's what most of you need to do. You need to really do what gives you joy and stop doing things just to keep the house. Stop doing things just to have the insurance. Stop doing things just so you don't rock the boat. And if you want help with that, I'm telling you, all you have to do, jump in our coaching group. It's Best with Barb Pitcock. And the way that you do that, you go to daveandbarb.com/best. You can try it for a week. I'm going to drop it right here in the comments. It's daveandbarb.com/best. And if you go there, you can get it for $1 for a week. And if you steal everything out of there, everything, you take it all out of there, and all you do is steal all the information and then you leave the group, I don't even care. You got your money's worth. Self-publishing is in there, SEOs, how a girl is #1 in innovative and #1 in Scentsy that's introverted and won't talk to people. How was she dominating the leaderboard? The secret's in there. I wanted to know. I interviewed her. You know, I had so many greats in there. John Melton, #1 on social media. You can go take all the coaching, take it all for $1 and leave, or you can stay in there with us. We have monthly assessments and we have weekly Zooms where we do small group coaching. And a lot of times you'll reach out and say, I want one-on-one. I want to help you. I want to help you be your best. I want to help you break out of that shell, make more money, have more time, be with the people that you love, have the money to do what you want, when you want, wherever you want, and not have to worry about it, because we can always all go make more money. But I'm telling you, we're not getting more time. Today is going to be gone and you're never getting it back. So get up out of that chair, get your notebook out, write down everything that's important to you. Are you doing negatives or are you doing pluses by wife, mom, friends, career, self, physical, whatever? Get with it. And I'll look forward to seeing you soon in that group. It's Barb Pitcock, No Guts, No Story. I'll see you all next Saturday. Have a great day, everyone.